Good day, BroadCoven. We're here to drop in for the spirit message for today. I already got a little bit of an opening download that came through the initial shuffling and cutting of the decks, just getting the decks seasoned and ready to drop in with you all. I had the ancestors come through, so I know this message is coming through from the ancestors today. I feel like you're closing a big ancestral cycle, okay? There's something that's related to karma that's really playing out right now. It requires a really solid foundation to be put in place. There's some important news, information, download, message, some kind of, key that's coming in for you from your ancestors at around midnight tonight, okay? So you may want to pay attention to that. Just sort of drop in, see what comes through, pay attention to what's going on around you around that time, wherever it's midnight in your place in the world, okay? Just tune in, all right? There's some kind of guidance that's going to come through for you from the ancestors. I know this because in shuffling this Halloween oracle to get sort of the overarching theme, I had messages from the ancestors, and midnight, the most magical hour of all, come through 3 separate times on the cutting of the deck. So I know that it's definitely what the download is today. So let's see, what is it that the ancestors want us to know about? All right, what message do the ancestors have for us today? What's coming in for the collective? We are shuffling for all signs. Let's just call everybody into the room. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Ophiuchus, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. What do the ancestors want the collective to know today? Ooh, 2 of these just like slid out. Okay, 2 things that we need to be aware of. I feel this has something to do with protecting new beginnings. I feel like this is the guidance that's going to come in around midnight tonight. Some key will come in, may even be a key around where this new beginning is. I say that there's something we need to be aware of here. I feel like this has not come in yet. The guidance that's coming in tonight around midnight is going to illuminate something for you all right? It's going to give you a key for how you need to move to protect your blessing. That's what I got here, okay? Because we have skull light, illumination in reverse, okay? So this is coming from the ancestors, but it hasn't arrived yet, right? Be on the lookout. Pay attention to what comes in later on tonight, right around midnight. And here we have jack-o'-lantern protection, but it was in reverse, okay? So right now we know that there's some area of vulnerability that exists in your situation. You may not have had this illuminated for you yet, but it's something that you need to be aware of, okay? Let's go ahead and get it. Yeah, this is going to take some strength. It also has its roots in the past with that strength message coming through, but you have the strength to overcome it, and your strength comes from your bones, man. It comes from your bloodline. It comes from your ancestors. So they're on deck. They're here. They're offering their protection, but you need to follow their guidance. You need to pay attention, okay? Because messages coming in. It was 4:04 on the clock when I said that. So what do you want us to know? Let's have an overarching theme, ancestors. What message are you wanting to get through to the collective today? Again, there might be something that's ripening. I'm just cueing in on the jack-o'-lantern here. It's making me think of pumpkins. And when I think of midnight, the most magical hour, I think of Cinderella. I think of Cinderella wanting to go to the ball, you know? You've been doing your chores, right? You've been doing the work. You've been slogging it out. Some of you have been going through, pretty lean times, difficult times. You'd love to see a harvest. You'd love to have there be something to look forward to, something to celebrate. I feel like that time of year is really front and center. That's been coming in quite a bit. There might be something really to celebrate around Halloween this time of year. You need to protect this blessing. There's certain things that you need to get in order. It's very foundational, I feel. It's so important, the opening to this, that there's care put into the foundation. Yes. All right. And right now, this just landed on the floor. And I know this is true. Look at it. We got joy coming in. Again, fall timing card. rejoicing in the present, all right? So this is about being in a state of expectancy of blessings coming in, all right? Now, normally we have this mindset where we kind of look at things in the framework of what we think needs to happen. And this is about staying really present through a process that's opening up for you. I feel like it's a healing process that is also sort of like, it's got this rebirth energy. It's like in letting go of the old karmic cycle. And I do feel this goes way back. It feels like there's something that's really being bridged. It's ancestral healing. You're being a break in the link of a chain that's really oppressed your bloodline, okay? And there's some work you're doing now that plays a role in this. It's almost got this feel of like lifting an ancestral curse. You know what I'm saying? It's got those kind of vibes, okay? And I see that, you know, maybe this is something that's kept you in a place of fear, you know, in your life. Maybe this is something that has continually haunted you throughout your life. You may have even had dreams about this. This may be fears, nightmares. I don't know. Did you have a history in your life of having nightmares, disturbed dreams, or messages that came through in your dreams that made you feel a little bit unsettled? That might have been like this kind of working out through your dreams. Some of you have memories of like an imaginary friend that you had in childhood, but there's almost something like that feels kind of heavy around it, like spirit attachment around it. All right, this message is going a little bit out there, but this is what's coming in. I feel like there's something that's been like energetically attached to you for like a long time, okay, that's been running the show, running the narrative. There's something that you have the strength to finally lay to rest, a ghost to rest, okay, that's haunted you for too long. And in letting this go and lifting this from you, for some of you, I'm getting, oh my gosh, got sentience. It really is about like lifting a spirit attachment, all right? You got something, it's been with you since you were a kid. And this is like settling the score. It's getting to the midnight hour, okay? I just got, this can even be like the spirit of one of the 7 deadly sins, all right? You know? Just this, maybe you had somebody who operated out of those places, you know, in your life. There's a spirit of that energy that's been attached to you. It's about really like overcoming this challenge. It feels like it's been really like in the bloodline, but there's something you're transforming here. You transform it in the fall, right? I get that. What was holding you back, what needed to, you know, die and be released is being released. It's let go. And then look at this. You got all this beautiful light bathing you, coming in. There's this joy, this freedom. I'm really getting right now, a key is to get very grounded. You definitely should spend more time in nature, spend more time getting some sunshine in, you know, spending more time maybe around some trees, really getting rooted. Again, the root imagery, you know, get to know your roots. If you want to have, you know, your branches reach high toward the heavens, if you want to branch out in your life, if you're looking for expansion, if you're looking for freedom of what's felt really constricting, what's held you back, all right, you need to get rooted, okay, because a tree is only as strong as its roots. Right? And you're only as strong as your roots. So if your connection with your roots is really weak, you know, if you're not really dropping in with your ancestral energy, it can hamper you at this time, because there's a certain protection and illumination that comes in here that's, you know, helping you secure your harvest. You know, that's what I get. I think you're going to have a big harvest in the fall. I feel like it happens around Halloween. All right. So there's also this piece too, you know, celebrate now. Celebrate now in the moment. You can feel it. If you tap into it, you'll be able to feel the energy of it building in your life. You can feel it. All right. It's time to stop focusing so much energy on loss, on hardship, on what withered on the vine, at what's fallen away. And instead, it's really time to just sink into this moment and just focus on that light that's building. You can feel it if you tune into it. Maybe you'll have one of these moments that comes in around midnight tonight that just makes you realize you turned a corner, you know. Take that as a sign, you know, from your ancestors that yes, this blessing is coming in. Okay, so we know we got blessings coming in. This is really beautiful energy. What's on the bottom of the deck here? Yeah, the lamp, remembrance. Please remember your ancestors around that time of year. Once we hit Halloween, once we hit Samhain, once we hit Dias de los Muertos, you know, this whole time of the year where we really reflect on our roots, and we're supposed to pay gratitude. You know, sometimes we lose that in the mix. Sometimes it's just about our treats or goodies, the candy, right? Sometimes it's just about the mischief, the tricks, right? But we forget about the piece of gratitude and honoring. So this is really coming in here. This will give you a lot of support to secure your blessings if you start making time to really be grateful for your ancestors, the strengths they've given you. And if you don't know those strengths, you can by learning about your ancestry, you know, learn about the stock you came from. And there's also something about feeding your ancestors, you know, maybe start a simple ritual, you know, make some coffee or tea in the morning and sit and, you know, drop in with your ancestors, talk to them, ask them for their guidance, share your concerns with them, you know, this piece. But there's also a big piece here about gratitude and expectation of blessings, of anticipation of blessings, but not putting a framework around what those blessings are. I think you already got a cue here, okay? I feel like right now there's going to be something that's coming in. And again, look to midnight tonight. There's going to be something that comes in that sort of illuminates what this blessing is. Yeah, look at this. Yes, bottom of the deck energy. We got the Hierophant here. And look, we also have this tree here. This is about bringing in all those roots, you know, look at that. All the ancestors are gathered here. There's a yes here. Something is growing. Something has sheltering. Something has protection. The light is building. All right. This is beautiful energy. There's illumination coming in tonight. It's kind of hard to see. This is such like faint artwork that it's really difficult to pick up some of the imagery on film. But I do really enjoy this deck. There's a lot of magic in it. But that's like an eye of protection that's up above there with those stars. It makes me think of Inanna, Queen of the Heavens. And just as I did this, this fell away. And what do we got there? Boom, there's that Ace of Pentacles. There's that new beginning. There's the judgment coming through. So I feel like the message that's coming through here is job well done. Like you've graduated from a certain cycle of learning on your spiritual path. And because of this, there's material rewards that come in because that's how it happens, you know, as above, so below. That's what it really means. It means once you can really balance out your spiritual path, once you can draw the energy down, the inspiration, and you can take the steps, you know, work through your shadow and the blockages that come up on the path toward actualizing a vision, you know, some kind of calling you feel you have that you've been compelled to move forward with. I feel like this is something that came in for you. There's a process. It was something that was started a long time ago. You got some kind of spiritual guidance come in. It was something that you were meant to pursue. It was something you were meant to do. And maybe you kind of had doubt that you should have followed through with this thing. I think you did make an investment, but it's got this vibe to me of sort of like down the rabbit hole, like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. You know, you got to that point on the path. You know the part in the movie, okay, because I've read the book too, but there's the part in the movie, the cartoon, okay, where Alice is at like the crossroads and there's all these signs and they point all different directions. I feel like that's kind of like where you've been. You did take up the task. Like you got the call and you answered the call as signified by like this kind of judgment energy here. And you decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to plant this seed. You did plant this seed. Maybe some of you even planted something that was symbolic of this. You might have done some kind of ritual. You might have done some kind of warding of the seed you were planting. You may have planted it in the roots of a tree, okay? Whatever this is, it's coming to fruition now, all right? And it brings a lot of joy. It brings a lot of joy. I think you may have given up on this. And you may have even let it go. You're just like, forget it, you know? Maybe I didn't get that memo right. Maybe it was just to lead me on another path, something along these lines. But there's something that's coming through at midnight tonight that lets you know, no, you've been right on track. And actually everything in the journey, the way it played out, it's exactly as it needed to be. You'll understand the broader scope of this as things start to come together in the fall. It's really going to become clear that this is not just, you know, the little like myopic view you had of your vision when you first planted it. This thing is growing, and this thing brings people together. This thing even brings community together, family together, soul family together. There's a real deep healing and rootedness happening here, and it's really beautiful, and it's totally blessed by spirit. It comes in the spring, okay? Because Ace of Pentacles is a spring timing card. That's when you'll really see the results of what starts right now. It's beautiful. Beautiful, blessed new beginnings, okay? They're just beginning now with these robin's eggs. They're being lovingly tended to, okay? But there's a need to really get the roots in order. And to get the roots in order, you need to make contact with your roots, all right? This piece coming in. Yeah, we see this. Look at this. We got King of Pentacles. He's been showing up a lot on the scene lately in the reads. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, any strong placements in the chart, okay? We also got King of Swords here too, all right? So we got air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is really beautiful energy. I also feel like this is kind of speaking of what's been going on astrologically. It's the passing of the baton. You know, it's sort of like we had Taurus in the North Node pass over the baton to Aries in the North Node. And in the South Node, we had all that energy that we were working through of the shadow, real heavy duty, deep dive into the Scorpio energy. And when we're looking at that, we're looking at the deaths, we're looking at the endings in life, we're looking at the closing of the karmic cycle. But what always comes after the closing of the karmic cycle is the flowering, is the rebirth, is the growth, you know? It's just like after the pain of the thorns, you know, comes the sweetness of the bloom. It's the same thing. It's the same trip. You know, sometimes you have to go through difficult stuff. You don't understand it at the time, but when you end up at your arrival point, you recognize like the destination I had in mind and the way I thought it should go, it looked nothing like this, but this is absolute perfection. And that's what it really means to let go. I feel like where you've really succeeded is recently you've released attachment to something. Now, for some of you, you released attachment to a spirit attachment. That piece came in. You released attachment to a spirit that had been following you around. You gave up a ghost, okay? And in so doing, it cleared your path. You're about to see the results of this. Oh my goodness. You might have even had guidance about this came in, that you freed yourself from some energetic attachment. I also feel like you freed yourself from something that was really holding you back, that was preventing you from actualizing these blessings that want to come in for you. It was acting as a block on your path to letting these blessings come in. Something has been released and it brings the growth. Look at that. King of Pentacles coming in with that Ace of Pentacles that's promised in the spring. This is the judgment in your favor. This is like spiritual court handing down the judgment, saying this is already secured. It's yours, okay? Just rest assured that the beginning that is your blessing is coming. It will come in the spring, and you get a clue about what that blessing is around midnight tonight, okay? Something comes through that really just drives it home for you. And this has you moving forward, you know, from the heart. That's what I got, okay, to a path of purpose. Let's see what else wants to come in around this. So show the collective what's coming toward them, ancestors. What's coming toward them, ancestors, with this Knight of Cups energy, okay, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is also moving forward from the heart, following the path of heart. That's what's awakening for you right now. Oh my gosh. It's a path of heart. It's a path of purpose. It's a path of ultimate fulfillment in the heart. It's like it takes all the pain and it like brings it out and it just fills it with renewing waters. I do have this image of an Ace of Cups, you know, just that and never ending, overflowing. You know, there's so much growth that comes from it. There's so much healing. There's so much cleansing of old, heavy energy that is clinging to you. Please, you know, drink your water right now. Make sure you're really hydrating. It's important that, you know, if you're doing work with tarot is very elementally based. So the more that you can kind of like tune into those energies, bring more of them in. I mean, we got pentacles here. Pentacles is really about grounding, rooting the roots, right? And then we got this water here. Well, water nurtures the roots so things can grow. Okay, so what's coming forward here, this water from this Knight of Cups, you know, this offer to, it's a beginning. Okay, it's a beginning. It's a movement. A movement is coming in out of the stuck places, out of the blockages, out of the inertia. And it's about moving forward and just taking up the cup with the anticipation that this cup is going to be filled, and letting it be filled in the way it's meant to be filled. You know, not thinking that it has to look any particular way. And I think that you recently came to this place as signified by the swords, which is the work also of that Libra South Node. Okay, so we went through the deep dive with Scorpio. We did all that action. We did all the integration of some really heavy shit, right? But now we're on the other side of that. Now Libra is down at the South Node, like balancing things out, okay? And it shows us these are remaining things that need to be done, okay? This is the karma that still needs to be done, the work that needs to be done. That's what karma means. It's an action. That's it. It's an action. It's the work to be done, okay? And this is the work to be done to transform, okay, to rise up into the Aries North Node as represented by the Magician. It's the alchemy. And that's what's promised after Scorpio, ultimately, okay? Scorpio and South Node is the death, but after death always comes rebirth. And that's why the Emperor's on the scene. Emperor front and center. I feel like masculine is really playing a role in this. Masculine is also the provider, okay? So it's also time to illuminate this part of your consciousness if you have any kind of issues with the masculine, or if you're having issues with exhibiting masculine energy in your life, which is to take charge, which is to take action. Are there places where you're stuck? Okay, this is what you really need to look at. How do I need to transform what I'm doing? And a lot of this has to do with doing the work to bring things to completion, with the world here showing up on the scene. All right, there's a beautiful pearl of wisdom that you're taking forward with you. Yes, you've dealt with a lot of hard times, bitter tea. Yes, it's been a really irritating, grating process at points. There's been a lot of hardship involved, but there is this pearl that comes out of it. It's a beautiful treasure. Okay, you're ending a cycle and you're preparing to step into the new cycle. All right, a lot of transformation energy around here. I got like butterfly medicine coming in here. It is said, at least among, you know, the Comanche tribe, that and a lot of the Plains tribes actually, that, you know, this energy, butterflies are the ancestors migrating. And it's interesting because the monarch, and that's for the monarch butterfly, and the monarch butterfly does its migration in October. So again, October coming through is a really important month, and also just that time when we honor the ancestors. Yes, I think this is really where you see the ending of the old cycle and the beginning of the new one is coming in for you. Something really transformational happening here. And there's a beautiful pearl that comes through, okay? This is the transformation point. Okay, it's really cool. Yeah, here's the ships coming in. Here's the ships coming in. But there's something that remains here, okay? And this is what I'm getting. And it's a fear, right? It's a fear, but do you see it's smoke and mirrors? This might be coming up around Leo energy with that lion there. Again, the clue to have strength, also with the world here, that again, another Leo significator with this, okay? Any of the fixed signs, Leo, Scorpio, Ophiuchus came in for me and has kind of remained in for me ever since I noticed it on one of my decks. I can't help but associate it with this now. Aquarius, okay? Any of these signs, Taurus, could all be involved in this situation where something needs to be brought to a place of completion so there can be a transformation. I feel like this is like an unnecessary fear that's hanging over the situation, all right? Top of the deck energy, look at that, death right there, all right? So we know that there's definitely something that's coming to a close. What's behind that? Ace of Swords, that's the truth. It also marks a new beginning, all right? Very powerful. Ooh, I like this. Look at this beautiful peacock energy here. I love this deck. This is a really cool deck. This is one of those decks that the more you look at it, the more you see. And I think that that's kind of what you're being asked to do right now. You know, pay attention. The more you really look at things, the more you see something beautiful. And maybe what at first appeared to have no potential. Okay, any further messages, Spirit, that you want to bring in here? I just thought, look for a really big truth to come in with the blue supermoon in Pisces on the 31st. All right. Yeah, and with that, a Queen of Swords flew right over this, okay? Queen of Swords flew right over this, okay? So Queen of Swords. All right, there's something that you can't see right now, and that's funny. Queen of Swords does represent Libra, so that's that South Node energy, okay? There's some game changer coming in here that's going to get you moving out of like so much focus on that South Node energy. Yeah, it's funny, as I said that this sword, you know, the Ace of Swords flew down. Yeah, it's like you've been trying to find the truth by looking in the root cellar. That's what I got, you know. You've been looking back at the shadows in the past. This may at times have made you go really cold. Air sign energy with that, okay? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, there's something you've been looking for. You've been trying to dig up the truth. You might have been even dealing with some like trickster kind of energy. I don't know what kind of spiritual paths you're on, but some of you, if you're on a path of fairy, you know, there's always that deep dive into the shadow. There's times when it has to get tricky, when upside down is right side up. You know, I become big Alice in Wonderland vibes. I do. Maybe you've been doing some journeying work around this, okay? And I feel like there's something that's coming through. There's a truth that comes through. It changes everything. It moves you out of your winter cycle. Because winter cycle, you know, winter cycle is all about, you know, the time when Persephone dives down, you know. She actually first does it in the fall. She dives down with Hades and she stays underground with Hades and she dances with that devil in the pale moonlight. And something germinates there. There's all of her illusions get shed there. There's something that's released, you know. And then there's an arriving at truth and an arrival within the self. And then there's the rising of Persephone as core in the spring, where all things grow and become abundant again. That's big Empress energy. And we are in that cycle right now. You know, that Libra energy at the South Node, you know, it's supposed to rise on up, you know, into the Aries North Node once it completes its journey, which will be coincidentally with the closing of the Kali Yuga in the middle of 2025, okay? So this is really about a flowering process that's happening here, coming into the birthing of a very significant new beginning in your life that's really going to have roots. This is going to be with you for a while. This is no flash in the pan. What's behind this? Look at this. Look at this. It's the love coming in from above, from that dove. Here's the sun, that promise of the star. Yeah, you've been really cleansing something away. You've been healing something. Some of you, you might want to look at doing some kind of cleansing work. If you did any soul retrieval work, you might need a little additional spiritual cleansing. I do have a playlist here, okay, that kind of guides you in how to go through soul retrieval and all the different processes involved with it. If you have not completed, soul retrieval, or if you started on that work here and you haven't wrapped up the last step, which is releasing any soul parts you're holding, you may want to do that, okay? Because there's something that needs to be cleansed away here. Remember, spirit attachment, all right? That can be a kind of spirit attachment. There's something you need to fully cleanse away here, because there's this love, this blessing that wants to come in. It promises to be your son, all right? Ooh, that's an interesting message for some of you. It's a son. I looked on the bottom of the deck energy, and there's 7 pentacles here, which is my sign of something growing in the womb, okay? Wow. Metaphorically, of course, with that Empress energy, she does birth all new beginnings, but I also feel like that is speaking to somebody on that level. All right. I want to go ahead and see if we get any further illumination coming in from these cards here. I got these from an antique store. I came across a bunch of cards. It was so cool. It was like, look at this. Messages coming in, messages from Spirit, 8 of clubs there. It's got cardinals on the back, which is just so perfect, because that is messages from your ancestors. So let's see what further details want to come in, if any. What do we need to know? Any details you want to give about characters that might be involved in what is kicking off now? Queen of Spades. Okay, we definitely know we got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius coming through there. Libra really strong. Also Libra, South Node. Okay, so something is being weighed out. Some karmic cycle is complete. There's a brand new cycle that brings a lot of joy, hope, and renewal in your life. I believe it involves more than one person. That's what it feels like, okay? I also feel like there's a lot of support around this. You've got your ancestral support. Now is the time to just have blind faith, I just heard. Okay, have blind faith. It's time to get into doing your gratitude rituals. You need to stop focusing on where you feel you have lack or where things are unresolved. And you need to start practicing gratitude rituals. The more that you practice gratitude rituals, even if that's just waking up every morning and beginning your morning by being thankful for 3 things, no matter how small they may seem, okay? Yeah, look at this. You got to remember, okay? You got to remember the beauty that is pouring in your life, okay? And then maybe before you go to bed, same thing. Just list 3 things that happened during the day that you're grateful for, and thank your ancestors, and thank Spirit, thank whatever you feel like thanking, nature itself, whatever you feel connected to in your truth, right? But there's some kind of alignment happening here with soulmate, with the 6 of Hearts. There's also something very deep that's being resolved from your childhood in this situation. Any further guidance around this, Spirit? Any further guidance you want to bring in here, Spirit? This is something that could relate to when you were at the age of 6 that's being healed. And maybe it's something that's acted as a block on your path that's presented. That's interesting. Presented. It's been presented for you to overcome. You were meant to overcome this. This is sort of like, this is the pox that was on the bloodline. By you transforming this and healing this, you are the break in that chain of oppression. And there's a lot of blessing that pours into your life. It's sort of like it feels like a celebratory moment. It's interesting. It's like there's this celebration that's being lined up for you. And I just saw like this image of like a banquet table. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Reminds me of that. Is that Psalm 23 about preparing the banquet table? I'll have to look it up. But if any of you know, when you watch this, drop it in the comments. Yeah, look, it's wish fulfillment with the 9 of Hearts here. This is beautiful. Really beautiful energy. Okay, you're getting some kind of reward for completing a karmic cycle and lifting something that's like a generational curse. That's what I feel. And this card wanted to be left behind as I picked this up. Yeah. It's something that like stole your destiny from you with the 7 of spades, and now you're stepping into it. This is a beautiful message. All right, let's get a super awesome future card just to get any further blessing messages that want to come in. Look at this. We got the cat lady here. Okay, closing a cycle as the cat lady. Maybe you've kind of been on your own. Maybe you've been sort of like doing your own thing. Maybe you know, haven't really felt like you found your community, or you found your people, or you found your person, or you found your like your soul family, you know. Maybe you've had to kind of walk your own path and be a bit of a rebel. Maybe it was really lonely at times. Maybe you've been in hermit mode. You know, you might have been dealing with a lot of heavy stuff and you just felt a little isolated and alone. I feel like you're not going to feel so on your own anymore. Like you got people to support you. You got your ancestors, but you're also connecting with people who support you. Yeah, you've been on a long, hard road. It's been part of your education, part of your spiritual education. You had to bridge the distance between your head and your heart. Again, some of you may have Native American Indian ancestry. I have to bring that in because it makes me think of I think it's, I believe is it Cherokee? I'll have to look that up too, okay? But it's the saying, the longest journey you will ever take is the one from your head to your heart, right? I feel like this has been long. It's been a hard road. It's been difficult. You had to face a lot of your fears, you know? I think of chicken there, you know, playing the game of chicken with 2 oncoming cars. Like maybe it felt like that a lot, like you had a lot coming at you, but you knew that this was part of your karma. You knew it was part of your education. It was something you had to do. It was something you were called to do. I think there was a lot of grief to clear around this, all right? You know, this is getting to the other side. The chicken finally crosses the road. You get to the other side. You're no longer at the crossroads, okay? Any final message you want to bring in? All right, so pay attention at midnight tonight. I don't know what's going to come in there, but something's coming in. It's a clue. Yep, here it comes. It was on the floor. There's that 6 energy again. You didn't see it until this moment, this most magical hour, right? And it has something to do with a certain journey that you've been on. It's over. It's over. It's done, right? There's the closing of an old cycle, this closing of not being able to move forward. We've got the 28 energy here with the rider, okay? So that's a 10. It's all about closing an old cycle so you can come into alignment. This is the manifestation of this. I see whatever comes in, this key you get, it leads you home. You finally find where you belong. You get your sense of direction. You no longer have your head in the sand. You're able to see clearly and you move forward. It's the start of a new adventure. Look for this beginning to really come in and manifest for you with the Virgo new moon that comes in on September 14th. And that's what I got for you.